Hey, what's up, fellas? It's the 26th of September. And it's about, I think it's maybe a few minutes before 1 o'clock. There have been a tremendous amount of military aircraft flying around in formation. Talking to like Blackhawks and Apaches and jets and fighters. And it's just weird. Just out. They're just, anyways, doesn't matter. There's the Franklin Mountains. We had a cold front come in. It is maybe 72 degrees out. I'm walking around. It's not hot. But as a Caucasian, I have to be mindful of the sun. Hey, I went to over the weekend, I went to a wedding reception. I didn't go to the wedding, but I showed up later, dressed up, nice suit and that. Oh, you know what? I'll sit out here. I'm going to sit out here for a change. And I have to tell you, I don't know if I was like happy because it validated a lot of the points men are making now to women. But there's no reason any longer for a man to try to rescue a woman from herself. It's just not worth the effort. And far too many of them are literally delusional. And no man should have to put up with that. I mean, they were, so here's what I was. There were maybe 12 tables there, and there's maybe 8 chairs around each table. There were, out of the 12 tables, there were 3 tables that had couples at them. All the rest of the tables were single women. And almost over 50% of those women had to be over the age of, I don't want to be cruel to them, but I would say they're in their 40s, from their late 30s to their middle 40s. And you would walk by, I had my wedding band on and rest of that, and they'd look at you like you were a pork chop or something. I was walking around sometimes like, Jesus Christ, lady. Smile at you, wave to you and stuff like that. My wife was very upset at some of the things that went on there. All that to say that, now, you're not required anymore to rescue a woman. I remember when that was being a white knight and helping a woman out and building a life together. And at the table, the women that had men on their arm, they were happy as a clam. And I think it was well, anyways, there's no reason for us to feel sorry for those leftover women. What do they say? They were just, and the majority of them were obese. I don't mean just fat. I mean obese, and they had the belly. I don't think they could look down without a mirror and see their pooter. It was crazy. And then they'd get up and they'd dance in like a gang of 4 to 6 of them, and they just, because there was no guy, all the guys that were there were taken. Well, there might have been 1 or 2 guys. Yeah, I think there were 2 guys there that were still single. And they were both red pill guys, so it's happening. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's less men in the world than there are women. And they're starting to age out of the dating market. I don't know if that makes me a fucking jerk for taking a little bit of pleasure in it, or I was very like, yeah, now look at you. Do you know what I mean? Nah, now look at you. Yeah, but I was like inside, I'm like, yeah. And they were out there, man. They were MILF cougars all over the place. But yeah, geez, here in El Paso, it just on a basic level, it's 3.5 to 4.5 women to guys down here. a lot of that has to do with the death rate of men. If you don't know, Juarez is right across the border from El Paso, and there's 4 cartels there. There's people dying in the city of Juarez by the truckload daily. They have a thing down there called femicide, where women just disappear. One day they're there, one day they're not. Anyways, I've never, anyway, doesn't fucking matter. Let me not get off the subject. I don't think there's any reason for a young man or even a middle-aged man, I'm talking about 35 to 45, you should not settle. You should not settle for any woman. I mean, it is incredible. And I mean, why is it so difficult for them to get in shape? How do you think I have to be over 6 foot tall, which I am? You have to have a certain amount of money. You can't attract a mate if you're not willing to do any of the work and not be disciplined. And I think the only time they got upset with me at the table is when all I said is this. They said, well, you and your wife seem happy. And I said, yes. But too many women nowadays are undisciplined. And many of the women at the table, probably 6 of them, looked aghast. And I think I was called, that's a misogynistic statement. And I said, no, it's just that men are very visual. And what do you think, and this is exactly what I said, what do you think it says to me as a man if I see that you're overweight and out of shape? It means you live an undisciplined life. And you're not a good candidate to be a wife. You're not even a good candidate to be a girlfriend. That's a base level starting point for most men. And man, it got real quiet. And a couple of the guys there at the table started looking like, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom. and that's it. I didn't opine on. I didn't say anything other than that. And one of the best things about having a traditional woman in your life, my wife didn't interrupt me. She didn't say, oh no, he didn't. She didn't say anything. I do not correct my wife or make fun of her in public. And I told her that's one of the things you better never do to me. Don't tell me I'm wrong in front of other people. Don't try to embarrass me in front of other people. I don't make jokes at her expense, and I don't expect that shit, and I don't put up with that shit. So anyways, yeah, but they're out there, man. There's going to be, soon enough, I think there's going to be like gangs of old ladies running around jumping guys for sex or something like that. Anyway, it was a sobering, validating thing to see in real life, in real time. Yeah, they're out there. Yeah. So anyways, and they use this thing. What did the one girl told me? That a lot of women are looking forward to compound living, where they get a bunch of the old hens in the. Anyways, not fucking matter. I don't know. What do you call that? A guilty pleasure? But anyways, it is what it is. I'm not doing fucking shit today. It's Monday. Feel good. Stay safe and healthy, young men and men. Take care of each other if you can. If you can't, take care of yourself. Like a fart in a G-string. From my humble abode here in West Texas. Bye-bye.